Hello, welcome in. This is Cleora, and I'm going to be pulling in a message from the ethers and seeing what my comrades need to know. So take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm just going to dive right in. Thank you for all your lovely contributions to the channel. I really appreciate you guys. You're the best. Okay. What I'm hearing straight away as I'm shuffling is that you are the realist. You're as real as they come, okay? And, you operate in such a strong frequency of truth that I feel like sometimes you found the world a bit of a strange place to be because you can feel other people's energies and you're very psychic and it confuses you why they operate the way they operate. You can feel their true intentions very clearly. You're very aligned to the compass of universal law. It's like you hold a compass in your heart. A cosmic compass, a compass that can feel the whole quantum field. And I am hearing the word cosmonaut. You might relate to this, you might not. But it's almost like this world for you is so small. Your soul is so vast. Your consciousness is so evolved and expanded and adapted that I feel like sometimes, the earth realm and the people in it can be so easy for you to read. Maybe you get a little bit bored sometimes, You're engaged in the astral quite a lot. And I'm hearing you're an astral master. And you know the value of truth. And, you've got this natural alignment. I'm seeing, your heart space lighting up in gold because you've been connected at such a pure and powerful level for so long that you're a very advanced soul, very comfortable with concepts when it comes to the cosmic qualities of the universe and hidden concepts to you are just second nature. So I'm getting that you're somewhat of a sacred clown. That's just one of the badges you hold. I'm seeing a badge on your chest. You've passed so many initiations and you've done so much cosmic training that I feel like, you being a sacred clown, being very dimensional, seeing the good in the bad and the bad in the good and stuff like that, being able to see things from an upside down, back to front, inside out level, but also keep yourself solid and true in your strength, purpose, and truth. That's something you find really easy, okay? But I am hearing that you are being elevated. I'm hearing upgrade, promotion. A new badge of honor is being given to you for staying in your heart space. And truth is a very heartful thing. Even though people might not like it, even though people might have been really offended at your realness, I'm getting they're really offended that you hold such a pure frequency of genuine, authentic energy, but that's your flavor. And, you hold the fort. You're very solid with the way you hold a frequency of truth that benefits the whole world here because the earth realm needed to be uplifted, elevated. And you're one of the ones who do this. I'm getting kind of a lieutenant, captain kind of energy here. Captain of God's army. Working for the Galactic Federation, and you're about to go through a big elevating kind of feeling. I'm kind of seeing like a sheet of light, and you're moving through it, and sort of something new is being installed in your soul. So this is like going through from 2 warrior bands to 3 warrior bands. You're being given an extra honorary gift. You're passing some sort of level here, elevating once again, mutating once again, taking everything you've learned up to a higher level. Knight of Swords here, so you move very quickly. Your messages, the messages you get through, they hit you very quickly, and you could have found yourself sort of blurting things out to people, speaking in a very quick way to people about your opinions. This is an energy of someone who says what they think and doesn't calculate before they tell people the truth with the Knight of Swords. So you are a communicator, for the backstage, for the cosmic, for the alien realms, for the divine, for the Galactic Federation. I'm getting you speak on this earth plane for a lot of different groups who were all teamed up, but you're a great communicator. And I feel like, you're leagues ahead of a lot of the people you've dealt with, although I do feel like you have this way of attracting cool souls in, like attracts like. I'm hearing 0 degrees of separation. So you've been making your way towards a certain target point, and now you're hitting your target. It's almost like you going through a cosmic sun. I'm hearing black sun. It's almost like I'm getting this idea of a negative of a photo, the negative of a photo being the blueprint, and the photo itself being the surface of the blueprint. You can see and feel all the blueprints, but you're going to be made comfortable in your new position. You're going to be imprinted with a lot of new energies to recognize how well you've done. You do things in a certain kind of way. Some people could think you're kind of old school, but actually you're so far ahead. You bring all the ancient gifts with you. So there's this idea of you being the middle point of ancient wisdom and future cosmic information. And it's like you're a telecommunication pole, It's like you are a divine aerial, a cosmic aerial. So the way you talk and the way you move and the way you act in life, you're too real for most people. Okay, but I am getting this energy of people who are like you, unique, unquantifiable, indefinable people who are all on a cosmic journey, kind of making you feel more normal. So that could be something that's happening for you now, or this could be what you're moving into. 7 of Pentacles energy here. You've invested in being a backstage player of the game, meaning you can be in the earth plane, but you still think in a backstage way, almost like a spirit guide. It's like you've been put here as some sort of spirit guide. And people try and shut you up, and they can't shut you up because you're so imbued, you're so blessed, anointed with divine energy, that no matter what people think or say, you can just keep on going and being you, because you know when you're right. Let me grab that one sec. We've got the Hierophant coming out here. Okay, so being around people for you could feel like, you're watching them playing out some scripted kind of reality often. Because you think in that backstage kind of Heyoka way. You can see through your own nature and the energies of your vessel. The energies of having a body don't take over your mind. And I feel like Spirit wants to let you know, the reason they act like that is they operate in fear. When people are scripted and they kind of act like they've got to be a certain way to please others, it's just a fearful thing, a tribal thing, where they don't want to be abandoned and pushed out of the tribe. I feel like you're too good to be part of any human tribe. It just wouldn't work for you. So you've got cool people coming in with different flavors, different cosmic flavors of beings coming in to join you here. And I feel like when you're meditating, you're going to connect up with an elder or a few elders who've had their eye on you and they've watched your progress. And they like your style. They would have known you before you incarnated here as well. And I think they've been watching you for quite a few incarnations. I'm hearing for 4 incarnations, you've been at the forefront of these elders' minds. You've been watched. You're exceptional at what you do. I'm hearing cosmic genius. And I'm also hearing they can't play a tune like you. I don't know what that means, but that could really resonate for somebody because I'm getting goosebumps as I say it. This could be talking about the tunes of their soul, the energies you leave residually on the planet by being in your authentic truth. You pull in energies from the yin realm, from the non-physical, that are so unique and so uplifting and so elevating. But it's funny, it's almost like you help the people you never meet, but the people you meet get offended by you because they've been programmed, you haven't. TV here. You operate outside the bandwidth of most people, and you do it for the divine. And I feel like you get a kick out of it. You get a kick out of being who you are. Temperance energy. I'm hearing the word pretentious. I feel like people mistake your frequency pickup, the fact that you pick up on information in such a pure way. Maybe they mistake it for arrogance or pretentiousness, when really you're just an initiated, evolved, advanced, adapted being, and your consciousness cannot be controlled. Your soul can't be controlled. You can't be controlled. You're a free agent. And you bring the medicine that they might not want to take, but is good for them. Okay? You being here is the medicine. You're a gift to the planet. And everywhere you go, you leave residual energies sprinkled around. You make your mark. You imprint on people's base nature. You imprint at deep levels in their minds and souls, and they never forget you. You're not someone to be forgotten, and you're certainly remembered by these elders who are about to elevate you up. You're being given an extra stripe, okay? Oh my God. Just as I say that, we've got the star energy here. I absolutely love this card. It's kind of piratey. It's kind of like a metaphysical piratey kind of energy, and this is what I'm talking about. You've done something quite difficult that not many people could do. And there are a lot of star seeds on the planet. And there are quite a few chosen ones. But this is something else. This is you going above and beyond to make sure that we keep expanding in the right direction. And I feel like there were multiple other places you could have incarnated for this one, you know, for this life of yours. You could have chosen to step onto a few different cosmic stages in our vast universe, but you kind of thought, you know what, I'm going to help Earth out. I'm going to do the right thing for the elders that, you know, rely on me, because you're very protective, I feel. And there's something about your nature that I find quite funny, because sometimes you could get quite moody with the world around you. It's because you kind of maybe crave to be around people more like you. And I feel like it frustrates you that these people are so delusional, that these people just can't be real with themselves. But you're the realest one, and you're being acknowledged for this. I'm hearing accolades. This is another badge, but this is a bigger badge, okay? You've got loads of badges from other storylines you've lived. But this is a big one. This is a major one. This is for you being the hardest, the realest, the truest, and the best. Okay? And you're quite genius with something you've done. So I know you're working away on something spiritual, something meaningful to you. And I know that there are lots of higher beings, because your consciousness is so honed, so well honed and so sharp. And because you're so open-minded and very knowing of higher intelligence, they can work through your mind with you. So they're very grateful that you're here on the earth, because even though there are other chosen beings and other light workers and other star seeds, they wouldn't be able to hold the information that you hold, okay? Because you're more than a graduate soul here. And you do hold this cure that even 100 other chosen ones couldn't hold, simply because their mind hasn't been mapped out in the same way as yours. You've mapped yourself out in some crazy, wild, kooky, different kind of ways. Been to different realities and star systems. And you just hold so many flavors within you that you're enabling this earth to be raised up in frequency so quickly by planting seeds here, there, and everywhere, by awakening people. They might hate you at first when you tell them the truth, but eventually, even if it's a couple of years later or 10 years later, they're grateful for you. They're thankful that you did it, that you jolted them awake or you pissed them off. They're grateful for it eventually, and they start to look at you, even though people may have treated you like public enemy number one. Eventually, they're going to see the beauty in your rawness, in your realness, because everyone else will tell them what they want to hear. Everyone else will be harmonic. Everyone else thinks they're such good people, but do they live in a frequency of truth where they are aligned with the divine? Well, they like to think so, but the proof's in the pudding, and you are the truth on legs. And many people will come to appreciate the bounty of your, could seem harsh to them at first. Many people will come to appreciate the bounty of that truth eventually. It's always the ones who do the most good here that are seen as some sort of enemy of, the mediocre man or the mediocre woman. Because they live in a state of fear, wanting to fit in more than they want to please God. And you know too much in your heart and soul to be concerned with that. That's not even on your radar. This is why you get the badge in the non-physical. You get this as part of your soul. Your spiritual resume is off the charts amazing. Not those people, and there are many of them, who could shun you, turn their back on you, bitch about you because you don't fit in with their little harmonic attempts at harmony. This is short-term harmony. These people get short-term harmony, and their lack of courage means eventually they're going to have to face the truth of reality. Some big scenario will happen in their life, and if they had the capabilities like you do to weigh and measure things and see things clearly, they would have to take accountability and be like, you know what, I caused this through my lack of courage. But most of them don't have the ability to do that. They live in a little dream world, whereas you live in a beautiful cosmic world, but it's the truth for you. And that's why you're blessed. You're blessed by the gods. You're blessed by the Most High God. And you're very much respected here, despite many humans and many people thinking that you're doing it wrong. No, it's always the ones who are actually doing it right on this earth plane that get seen by the masses as if they're doing it wrong. No, they're doing it wrong. They don't live in a frequency of truth. And they will have to answer to their spirit guides when they pass through to the other side. When they go back to the astral realm, out of their fleshy bodies full of need and worry and fear, they will have to answer for what they are. And you will be rewarded for what you are. Not to insinuate that you're not going to be here still on the earth plane, okay? I'm speaking from a broader viewpoint. Eventually, these people will be shown your greatness when they're back on the other sides doing their life review. They'll have to see how wrong they got it and that they could have done so much better by being honest. Because most of them, they don't agree with their little friends and they don't agree with their family, but they'll pretend to, just to fit in. And I feel like you get sick of these people. It's like, come on, you're lying. Why are you doing that? Fear, that's why. Animal Farm, fearful people. But you're getting rewarded. So you could be getting separated out from certain people or a neighborhood or certain people that have bothered you somehow. But I do see cool friends coming in here. Innocent-hearted people. People who can just be genuine players of the game. People who live in a state of idealism and love. See the best in people. People who like people who are different. This is a whole different caliber of energies coming in for you. And now you're being awarded this star, this honorable star. It's beautiful. We've got the Hermit here. So yeah, you have had to keep yourself away from people who just don't gel with you, from people whose minds are so small. It's surprising that, it's surprising they've even got a body sometimes. It's like, your mind's so small. I'm surprised you're not an ant. But I don't want to put down the ants who are very cosmically connected. I feel like people have surprised you and annoyed you, turned against you in ways that you didn't expect, because you've been to realms where there are loads of cool people like you, and it's just the norm to be at one with the rules, the universal laws of reality. But some people down here, they're just not at one with the truth or with the laws or with the, the truth of the universe. So I see rest here for you. This is kind of hermit mode on an elevated level where it's not just you in hermit mode now. It's a gang of cool people who are all going to kind of be securing their world and not letting the minions into their world. It's like you don't want any uncool influences in your world going forward. And this is going to be made easier for you somehow. Could be more money I'm getting. Because as you go through this golden veil, you're going to feel an uplift in a cellular way. Your cells are going to be made golden. And you're going to be tuned more closely. It's almost like your higher self is being installed in you permanently. Show me Knight of Swords energy. You're a genius. They want you to know you are exceptional. So even though people may be sneaky, Seven of Swords energy here, people may have tried to shut you up, to waylay your work, to sabotage you. And sabotage can just be them trying to socially ostracize you, not including you, not involving you, always acting like you're the crazy one. Well, they're going to have to answer for their slights against you or the way they treated you energetically. They're going to have to answer in a big way. Three of Pentacles, yeah, you've had people trying to not allow you to fit in, not allow you to feel like you're part of things with the Three of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. People who just don't want to include you because your truth offends their lie. And people who, I do feel like, it does take its toll. We're all tribal creatures. So you felt the energies of being separated from people, not being accepted by them, knowing, even if they're nice to your face, that they talk about you behind your back or make out you're something that you're not because they cannot see you clearly. They can only hold you at their frequency of consciousness, and their consciousness is so low, they can't interpret someone who's up here when they live down here. So they're going to interpret you at their level. They're going to hold you in their mind in a weird kind of way, but you can feel the way they think about you. And I feel like this has bothered you in the past. This is being replaced here with a period of recuperation, cool people, being in your own gang. This is kind of like, I'm getting this vibe of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You've got a secret hideout and only you're allowed in there. No one else is allowed. I'm hearing access denied. You can't get in if you're not cool. And you've done some really good work here. You've planted loads of seeds for the cosmic, for the divine, for the masters of reality creation. Eight of Pentacles. So your life's going to flow better now. You're going to find your groove here. Eight of Pentacles is sort of getting in the flow of yourself and finding that energy that you feel comfortable enough in that you want to repeat it, and it brings you joy and it's fun for you. So you've been laying the foundations in this world so that cool sovereign beings, cosmic amazing beings, can be who they truly are. And they won't have to be ostracized and treated like crap by lesser beings anymore. By the dull mainstream people who are constantly criticizing each other, who have constantly criticized the coolest people on the planet, while you've helped carve out a world where people who feel their higher self and want to be their higher self all the time can now do it. And you're going to be able to be your higher self all the time. I feel like your higher self is being installed within you. And now there's going to be like no separation between the yin and the yang. It's going to be instant. Whereas before you had to meditate, you had to tune into your higher self, maybe partake of herbs or whatever to sort of feel like who you truly are. Now with your higher self being installed in you, this golden veil that you're moving through that will coat you in your own divine essence, now true immortality of the soul is taking place. Because you know that even in death, you just step back to the astral realm, but your higher self is joining you now. So it's going to feel like you are in the astral when you're on the earth. And they're saying a cosmic genius like you will understand what that means. Show me Hierophant. The devil winning against the toxicity, the small-minded people who carry a frequency of chaos, fear, and greed. You know, if only they realize that when they're on that frequency of fear and bitchiness, that they're pulling in the equivalent in non-physical energies. Maybe if they realized how valuable it would be to tune up to a joyous, happy, cool level, and that would bring through energies of a similar ilk that would help them in life and make them be cooler themselves, maybe they do it then. You know, maybe they do it then. But unfortunately, they are magnets for toxicity, and they spread toxicity, thinking they've got the nerve to think they're doing it right. They've got the nerve to outcast people and socially convince others to sort of banish you or not talk to you. They're vile creatures, absolutely vile, which would be one thing if they knew they were vile. But the fact is they convince themselves that they're the good ones with the good heart and soul, and that you're somehow a devil. It's like, no, stop twisting it around. You lot are low vibrational, you lot are toxic, and I'm a cosmic genius. And that's it. 7 of Wands here. You're guarded. And you've guarded your heart, and you've guarded the way you are for so long because you know you're the cure, or you know that you've got it right. You ain't going to change when you're the one doing it right. They've got to catch up with you despite their opinions and despite the fact that there are so many of them. You've had to guard yourself from these people for so long in so many different ways, whether it's avoiding them, not telling them what you... not giving them more fuel, because I feel like there's times when you're like, you know, I'm just not going to talk to you because I know you're going to take what I've said and you're going to twist it somehow, or you're going to make me sound crazy. Despite the fact that I do feel like there's plenty of times where you will tell people the truth on a plate. I feel like eventually you've kind of saved your wise words and thought, you know what, you're just going to twist it. You're just going to pretend I said something wrong. That's so annoying. 3 of Wands here. Turning your back on the past, turning your back on the old ways, being installed with this powerful kind of energy. But this is also an energy of your ships coming in. Everything you've waited for to reaffirm who you are, to confirm to you, you know what, I'm not crazy. I am right here. I know I'm right. I've always been right. I'm an evolved soul. Well, you know what? That your ships are coming in. Full of the things you want, the things that are most dear to your heart. And I feel for you, just being chilled with cool people is your sunshine. We've got the sun coming out here. So just being around like-minded people to you is priceless, because you've seen what lurks in those suburbs. You've seen what lurks in the streets. You know who's out there. You know what kind of people are out there. And I feel like you expected these people to show up sooner, or, you know, this gang, this scenario. I feel like you expected the whole world to be as cool as you. And eventually you got a little bit jaded and started kind of putting your boundaries up and not dealing with people in the same way, and realizing, you know what, I'm the elevated one. I'm the initiated being. So I do feel like at some point you made a big decision to separate yourself out from society, you know, from society itself. I feel like you got sick of it. You got bored of them, and you realize you're a cut above the rest anyway. And you can't go disclosing things to them. They're not worthy of your truth often, you know. And anyway, your work was in laying the foundations for the sovereignty of people who want that, who are cool. They might be a small percentage, but they are the best, and they deserve to live the way they want to live without being controlled and seen as strange or weird by people who are the strange, weird ones, because they live in fear. Annoying. So sunshine coming out on your friendships, soul group. I'm hearing you're from an advanced soul group here. 9 of Pentacles with the Hermit. So I feel like it was a blessing for you when you turned your back on certain beings, groups, society, whatever, because it's enabled you to make your money, to preserve your energy, to save your valuable time and put it on making all of that shmoney and, you know, getting yourself in the best condition you can possibly be in with Hermit mode and the 9 of Pentacles. We've got the 7, 8 and the 9 of Pentacles here. You do things perfectly well in the divine way. Moving up that pyramid that major arcana pyramid in the best way possible. Because despite the fact that you're so high achieving, so spiritually high achieving, there's always the next circle of that major arcana spiraling up and spiraling up. Show me the Four of Swords. Your soul's going to be at rest. Your soul's going to feel peaceful and happy. Justice for you. Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Harmonic interactions with other people who are doing it right. Other people who are in tune with their amazing galactic, cosmic, higher self, you know, different kind of ways. Every ray on that sun gets more different or more further away from the ray next to it. As we evolve, we're not supposed to be all huddled together in the middle. We're supposed to shine outwards. And you are a shiner, okay? You shine and you're going to be around others who shine, okay? And this annoying past of people and their low vibrational ways is coming to an end here. Pebbles on a beach. So I do feel a sense of relaxation here. There's something about a cosmic beach that you may be visiting in your mind in meditation. Or maybe you're coming out of a cosmic battleground and onto the cosmic beach, because I see you chilled out, happy, content, feeling a feeling of that clickage when stuff just clicks in your heart and you're like, okay, it's all right. I did good. I'm doing good. And there are others. There are others now. The world has been prepared so that the best of the best can enjoy it and not just the lowest of the low. Let's put it that way. We've got this ram creature here, which is another nod to your toughness and how hard you've had to be in this scenario. Octopus energy, more water references here. So your consciousness, you know, the ocean of your consciousness, there's something about it being sealed off. Now you've completed the foundational work. You're still connected to all that is, but I feel like in terms of the earthlings, you know, I feel like your consciousness is being protected from having to zone into energies that aren't exactly your preference, but were part of your work. And now your consciousness is going to be able to focus on your preferences. The next step is just pure, happy, joyous manifestation. So the battleground is done. You won. We've got the rolling pin here. And we do have this tank here. It's like you just rolled all over your enemies. What worked for them in the old world is not going to work for them in the elevated world. Revelation I'm getting. People's true natures are going to be more on show. And as the whole fabric of reality lifts up, they don't want me saying this, as the entire net of consciousness is pulled up, they're going to be able to read each other better now too. They're not going to be able to say one thing and mean another. Everyone's going to be able to feel their true meaning. People who wouldn't even consider themselves psychic, people who look down on psychics and think it's all fake or whatever, even those sort of people, they're going to start feeling the truth because we're all in this together, right? Law of one, everything's connected. So as we take the paradigm upwards, as the world raises its frequency and clicks into the new golden era, these people are going to be falling out with each other. The huddlers, the ones who huddle together and talk about you or me or anyone else who's ahead of the game, they're going to find that their souls are exposed. So they're not going to be getting along with each other quite as well either. Their manipulations won't work in the same way. They're figuring each other out now, okay? And they're going to start demonizing each other. We've got cookbook here. So I feel like you've cooked up something beautiful in hermit mode that's going to give you financial security. And you've honed this palace of the soul. This temple of the soul is so beautiful now. And this represents you being on the earth plane, physicalizing divine energies, but also this represents the way you receive information now. So you're going to be meditating, or you're going to be in an exalted state of mind, a shifted, mind-altered state And you're gonna feel this golden energy install within you. Okay, you've done so well. Hope you've liked the reading. Lots of love.